Seat Time, everybody, the off-road show that brings you all the results, news, and online shenanigans that make being online a good time. We'd like to say thank you to Fly Racing for their support of Seat Time. Please go check them out at flyracing.com. Welcome to Seat Time, everybody. Brian Pierce here, your host for this fine Tuesday evening. Luckily, that never changes, so I don't ever have to change up what I tell you guys. But this is Seat Time, and honestly, we're very thrilled that you guys are here. This is episode 219, and again, we are the online show for the off-road enthusiasts. We do the beer drinking and the bench racing, and we have fun guests talk about off-road news and just goof off. Our fun off-road guest this evening is Mr. On-Road Rider Eric from Yammie Noob on the YouTube. What's going on, dude?
Literally zero dirt experience. Doing great, thanks.
You haven't crashed on the dirt yet on your on-road bike?
Never. Is that a rite of passage? I think it is, right?
I was actually just about to ask. I was like, do you think that it would be better or worse? Because granted, you guys wear a lot of leather on purpose, right? Because of the road rash. You don't want the road rash.
We also wear it later for fun reasons too, but yeah.
That's the same thing. I always come home from a good race, and I was listening to my wife's like, you haven't showered? I was like, you're damn right I haven't showered. You get over here, woman. I think it's just much more entertaining that way.
Yeah, you dilute that pure musk into a small bottle, and then you just do something with it later.
Sell
with
it
those
off
leathers.
as manliness.
Yeah.
That's what
profiting from that. I like it.
Another advantage that we should talk about is finding out ways to sell our musk. Maybe. I don't know. It could get interesting. Yeah. But for those of you who don't know, Yammie Noob does have his own YouTube channel. You should go check it out. We'll have a link down in the description so you guys can check that out. Had Yammie Noob on probably about 5 weeks ago after we met him there at the YouTube Creators Day. And just a cool dude. We've had some conversations on the back end, so we kind of wanted to keep up the partnership. We're helping him out with a little bit of off-road knowledge, and he's just bringing in some fun, good times because we like his witty humor that he brings to his channel. So if you think we're funny at all, don't worry, he's better, so just go over there. And then, of course, it's going to be interesting. We've got a lot going on. Endurocross in South Dakota this past weekend. We've got Unadilla GNCC coming up, and then all kinds of fun stuff to talk about. I think some of the stuff that I really wanted to and I've got people texting me that I'm just like trying to figure out how this show is even going to happen right now. So apparently we need to try Mason Ottersberg. So Steven, you need to get on the internet and get his contact information. I might have it. I might not. Of course, we're sponsored by the fine folks over at Fly Racing. You can check them out at flyracing.com. Again, the 2017 line just came out. You can go make orders on all your favorite online retailers or potentially your local dealer. That's always a good way to do that, is to support your local dealer. It helps a lot with the local sport in itself. So flyracing.com. 2017 gear. It's looking fly. Is that bad? I mean, is that just like
looking fly? Is that the official logo?
I know,
but you made that up?
Well,
of course you did.
I don't want to say that I made it up because every time I say it, I'm kind of like on the inside. I'm like hee hee, and then I'm like
it's not bad. Like a 5 out of 10, maybe.
Well, 5 out of 10. It's better than like 0.
Yeah,
better than 0.
True.
And then Kenda Tire USA, which we did find out that there should be some road tires. So we can try to figure that out. So Kenda Tire, you can find them out at kendatire.com. It's very easy to do. We were at the TKO where we got a chance to ride the brand new Ibex, and now that we've had Endurocross 2 rounds go on Atlanta and South Dakota, great for those guys. They're doing a fantastic job and kicking butt with their new Endurocross tires. Look for Salt Lake City this coming up weekend for Endurocross for round 3, and there'll be more Kenda riders riding their Endurocross tires. Of course, if you think, he's saying Endurocross too much, check out the Equilibrium. Now, I thought the Ibex tire is a great tire, so if it's going to be kind of a muddy, soupy event, you might want to go try it out anyway. It's going to give you a little bit more grip in those slippery conditions, especially like slippery roots and rocks, where it works really good at the Tennessee Knockout because everything is so slimy. So think about it that way. Or the Equilibrium is another good kind of off-road, tad bit gnarlier terrain tire, but it's not as aggressive. It doesn't have the side knobs that are so awesome for really good leaning over and turning and things of that nature. So there's a little bit of give and take, but they're both great tires, so try them out and just see what's going down with that. And then, of course, SRT Off-Road. So SRT Off-Road is awesome. They've got I keep saying 40 dudes on their team. It's really not 40 dudes, but it's just they have the biggest kind of privateer team. So they help a lot of dudes out. And that means their money is probably spread a little bit more thin, right, for all those guys and stuff. But it's just good to see privateers being able to get some support. Mm. And that's what I think is awesome about not just SRT Off-Road and the way they manage their team, but they make great products. So we're talking about Endurocross. We're talking about extreme races and things of that nature, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You're like, yes,
dude,
we are.
Yeah, we are.
I know about those things. So bike protection, that's a big thing. Just like when you're like, whoop, Got to put on a rubber. Well, you want to make sure when you're riding all these rocks and all these slip, slimy shit that some of the more important parts of your motorcycle are covered. So disc brakes, you got nice big, anodized CNC machine covers for the rear, all that kinds of stuff. And they sell all that shit, and it protects your bike. What I like, too, is if you run a two-stroke, which has a different kind of exhaust chamber, right?
Wow. That one I know.
Yeah, the one that looks all funky.
Yeah.
Those are expensive to replace all the time. But the good thing is SRT makes amazing third-party aftermarket versions of them. They're not crazy expensive, and they work just as good as what you're going to get when you get any of the stock crazy stuff.
Sweet.
So that's why we like SRT Off-Road. So you can go check them out at srtoffroad.com. All of our sponsors are easy. Fly Racing, flyracing.com, Kenda Tire, kendatire.com, and SRT Off-Road, srtoffroad.com.
I love it.
I know. They didn't make it too hard on us, did
Yeah.
they? We're going to make that happen. You guys don't know you may be in the YouTube chat room if you're going to do that. If you want to have any specific questions for Mr. Eric, the Yammie Noob, or myself, or just off-road randomness in general, you want to make fun of the faces I make when he talks about how fast he goes in the corners, there's always that as well.
Or the faces I make when he talks about dirt things I don't understand. Which is usually this.
Yeah. I like to agree. I think we're doing a good job with this show. Oh, YouTube chat room. Thanks, Steven. Let's see if anything's going down with these crazy monkeys. Where's the sound, bro? Really? Somebody put first and second in there. Jeez, guys. What is this? Like some kids porn? Like it got weird.
Is that the sentence you want to say?
Nope. But we're live on the internet, so there it is. No, I didn't get weird. It got really weird. So check it out. The YouTube chat room is a good place to go. That's where we're going to be tonight. And we're talking about all that kinds of fun stuff. So we were showing Yammie Noob the Tennessee Knockout photo epic that we did. If you guys did not get a chance to go check that out yet, you can go to the Seat Time website, seattime.co. And there's either going to be in the feed, just there on the front page, or it's going to be up in the top. There's a section for photo epics. So you can go check that out. Obviously, we're really proud of the work that we do, having a little bit more fun doing artistic kind of photography opposed to a little bit more magazine-driven content. And so we have a lot of fun doing that. So definitely check out the photo epic and pass along your comments. Tell us how awesome the pictures are. And by that, I mean just blow up my ego as much as possible. I would really enjoy that. And just
those
have
some
fun
great
with
looking photos, Brian. You did a tremendous job.
Yay. You're coming back.
Yeah.
I am. You keep doing that. You're coming back every time. Yeah, I like that one of Max Gersten. So some of that we added a couple little frills, like the quotes and stuff. Just like, change it up, make it a little different, goof off with it. So we'll see. We're going to be on the Muddy Microphone podcast. I know we were telling you guys we were going to do that last week. Just with family stuff and Labor Day, it just got really hectic. And just didn't work out. So we're still trying to figure out when we can do that. But yes, we will be on the Muddy Microphone podcast. So they are easily enough, muddymicpodcast.com. So go check the goes out. Search for them on iTunes or Stitcher, and make sure you give them a subscribe and listen to Steven and I ramble around. I have a feeling Steven's going to have a lot more to say on that than I am, because they're much more UTV off-road centric. Now, I'm good at blabbing too much, but I have a feeling that Steven's actually going to be able to speak to the subject.
Yeah. Well, he does want to talk about Seat Time Adventure stuff, too. So you can yap about that.
I like it. We didn't get our promo up, but the Seat Time Adventures video should be coming. So if you're watching us and you have no idea who we are, definitely give it a subscribe, give it a like, give it a whatever, and that'll come into your feed in the next, actually probably sometime this week. It'll be a good time. Good Sweet. 4 minutes of badassery. And the last thing is, of course, the shirt sale. So we got a chance to show you. Thank you for the Team USA shirt sale. And so what we would really enjoy from you guys is just support. If that is sharing it with all your moto buddies, awesome. If that is purchasing a shirt, that's awesome too. Whatever that looks like for you, we'd like you guys to get those shirts out, because 50% of the proceeds are going to Team USA at the ISTE. We're just going to write the AMA Racing a check of whatever 50% is, and at this point, it needs to be more, let's be honest. And, so that's going to be a good time, and it's a badass shirt, and we'll just have fun doing that.
Yeah, Yammie approved.
Yammie approved. Is there do we get can we like
a seal of approval?
Yeah,
I should make one.
We should get for that.
Should make it like a wax seal.
Now that you're doing the one, what did you call it? The one
takes.
One takes.
Yeah,
that's what you need. You need a.
What if I just
screen.
on the bike? Yeah, like they come up and I'll be like, "This is approved," and I just like slap a wax thing on it.
And they're like, "Bro,
they're like, what the hell, dude? Like my fairing." I'm like, "I don't care, dude."
Yammie approved. But you need a new fairing because I broke it.
I'm not paying for it.
So let's talk a little about that. That's one of the things I think is interesting. You're kind of growing your channel, right? You're putting out a lot more content, a lot of different types of content. So what does that look like for you?
So just recently ramped up to about 3 videos a week, which is pretty demanding. I was doing about 2 a week, so now we're doing 3 a week, kind of branching out the content in different ways. So Monday used to be like the vlog. It's still going to be. It's like the vlog day, I call it. So it's just me on the bike chatting about whatever I want to chat about. Thursdays.
And for some reason, I have missed that. Like, and that is you have a internal monologue with a mic while you're on the bike?
Yeah, so it's just a Moto vlog, which is what it's called. So literally, it's just a GoPro on the helmet, microphone, and then you just chat.
I've seen the 9 types of, and then
Everyone's
you sit
seen
in front
those,
of
yeah. You never seen just my Moto vlogs?
I guess not.
It's crazy.
I suck at life.
It's crazy. One just came out today where I talk about, and this one it was very controversial. This one was about how I think that 300cc road bikes, so street bikes, maybe not the best choice for a beginner. I was like, maybe, there's, you get whatever bike you want. Like, comments blew up. I think there's like 600 comments on it right now. It's like 13,000 views like in 6 hours. So it kind of, people love controversy, love chiming in with their opinion. So it's pretty cool.
I want to get back to that though, because I actually have some thoughts on the same thing. I mean,
about controversy?
About kids porn. Controversial.
Controversial, but not illegal. I think it is though.
I think it's illegal.
Pretty bad.
Remember that guy, that Jared Subway guy?
Oh yeah,
jail.
He's in jail.
Illegal. Yammie approved. You're going to jail. So no, the 300cc, the engine displacement. I want to know a little bit more about that. But continue on with some of the other video content that you're creating.
Yeah. So Monday is still going to be that sort of normal vlog type of day, and then Thursday was now. It's basically been like, it's like a sort of whatever video, where it's like, product reviews or the list videos or the humor videos. But what we're going to do now is Monday is still going to be the same. Thursday is still going to be the same. But Tuesday is going to be the one take from now on. So Tuesday is going to be the one takes. And then if I'm feeling really adventurous, I might bump it up to 4 videos a week. And I might bump it up to 4 and do.
I've officially quit my job.
Or my job quit on me. My boss is like, you know what? It's okay.
Yeah,
we don't need you anymore.
We hope he's not watching and or listening.
Yeah. But yeah, if I'm really feeling adventurous, I might try for 4 videos a week, where on Wednesday it would be like the list video and the humor video. But I don't know yet and still kind of playing around with it. So yeah, nobody hold me to anything yet because I haven't put anything out saying, I've not made any public disclosures saying what my schedule looks like. But I am ramping it up to at least 3 a week. If I really want to just go for it, I might go for 4.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Because I've gotten actually really productive and efficient with editing the videos.
Right.
I can usually crank out an edit in like an hour at this point. Because the Moto vlogs are really simple. Some of that stuff's pretty easy. So it's just making it more efficient, you can pump out more content.
Right. No, and I understand that, because just like the podcast aspect of this, we're recording and going live to YouTube, and then YouTube handles that after the fact, right? They put it out, if you will, as a video after the fact, kind of like just 2 people that didn't tune in live. But I have to go do the audio part, so I have to download it. I got to do that, make the podcast, and boop, put it up there.
Yep.
And so like the first time I started doing that, like for the first year, it was the most agonizing task. But then all of a sudden one day it clicked, and I was just like, and then it's like in about 20-25 minutes I can kind of have that done. So I totally understand what you're saying about once you can find that, you get that process to click,
getting that groove. You can just really knock stuff out,
makes it a lot easier. So here's what I was wondering about the 300. Now you're going to know the exact CC displacement, I'm sure. And I know the KTM has a smaller version, and is it the KTM Duke that has like a 350?
It's a 390.
390, okay.
Yep, it's a 390 single cylinder. Yeah, so they have the Duke and the RC 390, which is a full fairing, like little mini race bike almost. It's pretty cool. They're actually, I think they have their own Cup series. So
and the Duke is the one, the Duke is not the RC. One. That's the one that, is that more cafe stuff?
I wouldn't say it's cafe, because it still has like really colorful graphics. You're learning, yes.
Hopefully I'm asking the right questions though.
So it's what
Are we
people
eating
would
at
call,
a cafe?
So what people would call a naked bike.
Oh, okay.
So it's not a cafe bike. It's a little more upright. It's got that single-cylinder 390cc displacement motor. It's just a really fun little torquey bike, from what I understand. Really popular with learners. So, yeah.
And
really popular overseas, too, where they have license restrictions.
Yeah, and those are big because of the fact that couldn't they almost sell them as scooters? Like, for a long time, I think that's why
Maybe.
they were. I think the displacement on those things was so low. That they could.
I think what they actually do is they have some sort of law that it's like a power to weight ratio that you have to stay in between. I don't know exactly the ratios. I don't live there, obviously, but it's some sort of like ratio that you have to just be under, and within a certain like licensing period. Then you take a test and you get above that period. Then you eventually can have like whatever bike you want. But,
Yeah, interesting.
yeah, so
I'm
that's
glad they
why
don't do that for
those
dirt
bikes are so popular over there. Those
Interesting.
learner bikes. But over here, it's kind of like you can get whatever bike you want. You know, you can get your license and go get a turbo Hayabusa if you want. So
Right.
do
America.
whatever- yeah, fuck yeah.
You mean I can mortgage this thing? I want it. Like, I'll take
I'll
two.
finance my goddamn turbo Busa because this is America.
That's like going to the Harley shop, man. I've actually
Those
walked.
bikes are expensive.
I've walked in there
dude.
a couple times, and I am just like, that is American made, and that is damn expensive.
Yeah.
Like, holy shikes.
I had no idea they were that much money. Comments blowing up. What's going on?
Okay, so Cheesehead Discool, maybe Disco Cool, whatever. Oh, Cheesehead is cool. Reading,
Nice.
It's good. Does Yammie not care about showing his face? Most moto vloggers don't show their face.
Nah, my face is on my channel. I don't care.
Yeah, that's what I think.
So many people give so many bullshit excuses for that. They're like, "Oh, I can't show my face because the cops are gonna get me." It's like, do you understand how laws and like the rule of law works? Like, no one can just like because you show your face, just like come and arrest you.
Yeah, you
They
actually have to do something wrong.
They have
and then they have to have proof.
They have to have proof. They have to build a case. They have to like get a warrant to come search. Just like nobody has time for that. Nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah.
There's a guy actually called 650 Ebe on YouTube where he has his face all over his channel and he literally does videos of him like supposedly it's him like moto vlogging like doing like 200 miles an hour on the highway. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he's not in jail. He's perfectly fine. You know?
that we know of.
Yeah. So far.
Like,
but
like he like pays the cops. He pays the people
Well,
like a
he-
little check under the table.
Honestly,
and
I
he's
wouldn't be
like, Just let me
surprised."
out. I'm gonna ride the bike really quick. I'll do this moto vlog and come
Yeah.
edit it back in my cell.
that dude literally has about like 150 grand worth of motorcycles, so I wouldn't even be surprised if he's like paying off judges and cops and shit.
We could make this happen. I like
Yeah.
it. Let's.
Yeah.
We don't want no kids porn and no paying off cops.
Yeah.
I think we're making some good
just,
ground rules
you don't
tonight.
pay the cops, you just run from them. It's so much easier.
Ah.
And it's free. Wait, that's illegal, right?
This is the last thing I'd be able to do on a dirt bike because the second I tried to take a turn on cement, like leaned over, the knobbies would just roll on me.
I would love to
And it
see you
was
like run away just like low side
oh God,
and then
yes.
take off on foot.
You're like in my boots. And
Yeah.
that's so heavy. This is such a bad idea. Nobody gets it. But that's why the wheelie boy bro whatever dudes in
Yeah.
like Boston or wherever they're at, Baltimore, whatever.
Baltimore, yeah.
They
12 o'clock boys.
There it is.
Yeah.
If you look at their knobbies, they don't exist.
Oh no.
Like they have
Yeah.
things. Once that bike was stolen, they just fucking just went and smoked that rear tire so that they had just a good
Yeah,
clean
that's
one on
the
that.
cheap man supermoto, basically.
Can you? Yes, they are humans. Dude, look at these people. Can you imagine them living here? Yes, they are humans. It's so interesting the way that the dynamics that happen in a chat room sometimes.
Yeah.
And comments. Oh, I can only imagine with all the comments that you've been talking about.
Oh, dude, well, first of all, I get so many comments in a given day. Like, I can't read all of them. So, like, what I do is, like, I'll block out about, like, 20 or 30 minutes in my day to just, like, reply to as many as I can. And then, like, I just call it from there.
Yeah.
And then, like, you
It's
get, like,
email.
yeah.
I'm done. Out.
Dude, I tried to tell my boss that. And she's just like, what the hell, dude? Like, why aren't you? I was like, I can't.
Going
answer all
home.
of it.
Going home.
It's 4 o'clock. I'm leaving.
Base done. Oh, I forgot. Okay, so the 390.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that as a beginner's bike? And I want to know, like, if that's not what you're talking about
Okay.
in the 300cc beginner bike,
is what I'm
I want to
talking
know a little bit more of that. Okay, so yes,
Yeah.
then kind of break that down for me.
So basically, there's been kind of like recently like a bit of a shorthand when it comes to like describing the 300 bikes.
Mm-hmm.
Like people like I think just call 300s like they lump in like Ninja 250s, Duke 390s, like the R3, Ninja 300s. They all have similar displacements, but they're all fall into that like category, right? And my thing is
Again,
in the video,
this is me doing what you do. Mhm.
Yeah. Yes. Like basically, they're all similar bikes, a little bit different. But the video I put out, I was talking about how I just rode an R6 for the first time. Do you know what that is?
That's the 600.
Yes.
Wait for it.
Yamaha, 4-cylinder. You can do it. You
Gonna
got
say
it. Yeah.
Yamaha.
You got
And
it.
you
Noah.
stole my
I'm
thunder.
sorry,
I actually was going to say that because they have the R1, right? Which
Yeah.
is the 1000cc.
Yeah. So I just rode one of those for the first time the other day, and compared to my Daytona, I felt like it didn't have as much torque, and I was like, this isn't scary at all. And like everything kind of clicked where I was like,
And then, why am I on the ground?
shit.
Ah.
It's like, I'm going 80 miles an hour. But everything kind of clicked, and I was like, okay, this really isn't that bad for a beginner. You know what I mean? I was like, this is okay. And so I just kind of put a video out saying that I don't think it's necessary to start on a 300. I just kind of said that, you know what, start on whatever bike you want. Go test them out. Go see what's good for you. I don't think that anyone should put a hard and fast rule on what size displacement engine you should get as your first bike. That's all I was saying.
Right.
Because, again, America, and you do whatever you want.
This is what I say goes.
Yeah. So that was the video I put out.
Okay.
That's what I was talking about it. But the Duke 390s are really cool. I've never ridden one, but everyone that rides them says they're really fun.
So let's talk a little bit about the beginner aspect and potentially getting on too big of a bike.
Yeah. I mean, that can happen.
What is it just about the way the bike would handle potentially, or the fact of the power that it's so hard to control? You know what I mean?
So,
there's so many aspects that can be an issue for a beginner.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's the way the bike makes the power. I don't think it's
that I do get because of 450s.
Yeah. And that was the biggest revelation when I rode the R6 is because like you get on it full throttle, you gotta wait. When all of a sudden you get all this power, and you're like, awesome. And that's why I was saying it's not bad for beginner, because you could, whiskey throttle it, nothing really happens, Yeah. But other bikes, they have power bands that are, so much more torque down low. They're just geared kind of differently. And so if you do kind of just like whip the throttle a little bit, you're going to get jerked back.
Okay.
So it all kind of depends. Like, for example, like if you're a beginner and you got on an FZ09, do you know that bike?
Nope.
So the FZ09 is another naked bike the Yamaha makes.
Oh, that sounds sexy though.
It's cool, yeah. And it's a 3-cylinder, 847cc motor. So tons of torque, lots of low end.
Ooh, yeah.
It's a really cool bike, yeah. But in my opinion, like an awful beginner bike because of all that torque and power that it has on offer in any gear, anytime.
Right.
So if you make a mistake, you're going to wheelie and die, basically.
Right.
An exaggeration, but you know what I mean.
Yep.
So it's all about how they make power. It's all about, in my opinion, this is the Yammie Noob opinion. So, again, take it for what you will.
We'll give it the stamp later.
Yeah, we'll get that stamp on there. But it's all about how it makes power. It's all about how you are as a rider, how responsible you can be. And that, it kind of opened my eyes, because I used to kind of be like, you have to get a 300. Like, you have to be safe. You have to, like, start small. You don't have to do those things.
Right.
You could probably start on other bikes. Is it easier to start on 300s? Yes. Is it harder to, like, it just depends.
Right.
So that was it.
Well, yeah, I think it's been a discussion. I think Steven mentioned it in the chat room last time. There was a discussion that you and I should both do the other.
Yeah.
Like, you should try off-road, which I saw in the chat room. Somebody was mentioning that we should get you on a dirt bike, and I typed in there really quick. It spelled a couple words wrong, but that we're trying to get that to happen in October. And
happen.
I do know somebody with a KTM Duke 390. So I potentially, if you could kind of come out, and again, I've been riding dirt bikes.
Kind of do want to get you on my bike. That would be fun.
It could be also extremely dangerous. I don't want to owe you
like,
anything.
You'd be like, why am I gonna flip over this thing? Like,
it's like, why is it so tiny? Is it supposed to be this small?
Yeah, you'll be like, it's a little mini bike.
But I think it could be a really fun. So like making that kind of jump to get out there. But I think personally, I would have no ego whatsoever, right, about you 390 in it. You know what I mean? Like,
oh no,
kind of like beginner in it.
You said you've never even ridden on the road, right?
Right, I haven't. Yeah.
To me, that's crazy, but that's nuts.
And
so take it easy. Yeah, don't. It's like if I went on the first time on the dirt, and what's some crazy dirt bike, like a really fast crazy.
Oh
dirt
shit!
bike.
I mean, honestly, any 450 these days,
yeah,
even
like
stock.
Like if I just went on like
powerful.
my first time in a dirt, I was like, I'm getting on a 450 and do this. You'd be like, it's kind of a bad idea.
Just don't wick it all the way back, because you will land on your asshole.
Yeah.
like this is fun. It's not as much fun when you're on your back.
Yeah, I kind of imagine me just being like, oh, it's just like a street bike. And then that's it.
Right. And it's funny, though, that you mentioned when you said, I think we were kind of making similarities maybe between the R6 and the R1, where the R1 might be a little bit more, have a little bit more wiki power, like right at the beginning.
It definitely has more torque everywhere because it's a bigger motor.
That reminds me of two strokes. Two strokes is power delivery on a motorcycle, and four strokes. And one of the big reasons that four strokes became so popular is because yes, they have way more power. They're easier to ride, and they allow you to make more mistakes but recover quicker from them.
Yeah.
The biggest thing about a two-stroke is for it to deliver amazing power, especially when you're kind of in the supercross style and motocross style, where you're just high RPMs and just hauling ass on the dirt, like, I just wanted to do that to see what you would do. It's all about staying in the power band, which is on a 2-stroke. That's just as fucking as high as you can get the RPMs, right? I mean, but
that's what I've heard about the real
strokes-
peaky, right? 2
Yes,
strokes?
yeah. And so that's where you were kind of like, it could kind of like that can happen. I mean, if you were to just to dump the clutch on a 2-stroke, 125 or 250, it could just loop out right from underneath you because it has that quick power. But a 450 or the 250s and 4-strokes, when they started to come about since the late 90s, their power delivery, you can create it to be very peaky if you wanted that. But honestly, they deliver power a lot smoother. And if you were to make a mistake because of the fact that the torque and the horsepower is so high, you could screw up, right, going into some left-hand turn. You're like, crap, I'm not in the right gear. Downshift, rev the shit out of it, just really lean into the turn, then come out of that turn, upshift, and just lay into the throttle, but super smooth.
Yeah.
And you would have the power to make almost any jump. And so where that kind of controversy starts to come, and I was kind of circling back to the 300cc controversy thing, is that we've seen a lot of younger kids get extremely hurt because of the fact that there's no intermediate bike anymore. There's an 85cc, and then they jump to a 250cc F motorcycle, right? I mean, and it doesn't make a difference that they went from a 2-stroke to a 4-stroke. It makes the difference that they literally like doubled in horsepower.
Yeah.
Right? And these kids are like 14, 15 years old when they're doing this. I mean, so they're riding without fear. And that's good. I mean, honestly, like the guys that are professionals do that, right? Like, I mean, but they've been able to curb that fear throughout their career, and that's how they've been able to do this. But so it's been interesting to watch that develop as the 4-strokes have gotten so much better and the industry has moved towards that. We've just seen a complete decimation of what used to be an introductory bike, which would be the 125cc motorcycle, right? And it's a 2-stroke. And so that's what like, if there's any weird controversy that I wish that I could get on something to like have a platform for or a podium to just soapbox and bang on stuff about, it would be the fact that we need more manufacturers to give a shit about the actual people that are riding the motorcycles and not the money they can make from the people that race the motorcycles.
Oh, that is a tough one. That's tough.
But is that you know what I mean? That could be said for the whole industry. I don't know. You know, obviously, we were just talking about you having the headphones in your helmet, and you're like, "Oh shit, yeah, we're on different planets." You know, like so.
Yeah. Because I was like, "Yeah, I have the Cena." You're like, "What's a Cena?" I'm like, "Where are you at, Brian?" Like,
I'm just on the left side of the couch over here, buddy. It's like, so
yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of interesting, but I wonder if that. What do you? Let's not go there. Somebody's like, "What do you do for your job?" You're like, "Nah, you're not coming to find me there, buddy."
Nope.
Not behind that computer. Okay, so a little bit of really quickly, your DFW group rides that you've started doing.
Yeah.
Right? So that's been a bigger thing that you've done. So how are people do you do like a meetup.com type thing, or are you just putting videos out when and where to meet and giving some regulations?
So the first one I did was kind of impromptu. It was actually in Austin with the Creator Day we did. Remember, like we met up there?
That's right.
And the reason I went down there was for the Creator Day and to do this meetup to kind of test proof of concept, because a lot of my audience is in the U.S. and a lot of my fans are in Texas, which is cool because YouTube has a whole like geolocation thing that it works off of. So I was like, let's just see if this works. So I made a post about it in a video. Like I got off the bike and I was like, hey guys, I'm doing this thing in Austin. Like come and check it out if you want. And I made a Facebook event. And I kind of just publicized a little bit. You know, it was funny because I think a day before it happened, I was actually checking my Facebook page at the Creator Day, and I only saw it's like 5 people are coming, and I was like, you know, if it sucks, it sucks. Whatever. I tried it. Then I got there and there was like 30 people there.
Nice.
You know, like a really good sized group. Like a lot of people came out. I was like, this is great. I was like, I'm going to do this in DFW later. So, you know, fast forward, a month and a half or so. And, you know, I set up the DFW group ride, and it was great. You know, like it was the same thing. I just publicized it in a video, made a Facebook event for it. I was like, you know, I'm always kind of funny with it. I'm like, you know, I listed as like a religious event or whatever. Like come hang out with the fictional character known as Yammie Noob. I just kind of have some fun with it. But it was great. Like again, like, you know, 20 or 25 people showed up, I think. And
That's awesome.
you know, I was just like, hey, you know, these are my favorite roads to ride around, and that's what we're gonna do, you know. And again, like we were talking about earlier, I was like, this is gonna be like a crazy, like, you know, if you want to do wheelies, go do wheelies. Like if you want to drag your knee. Like we're gonna go balls to the wall. Like that's what this group ride is gonna be about.
Yeah.
Just letting everybody know before we go.
Yep.
But some people in the comments for the video were like, you're going way too fast. So that's something that I should make even more clear in the future, where it's like, I ride really fucking fast. Like that's my thing.
Well,
So-
has there been any standout individuals, and I mean in a good way, well, maybe bad way, that have been at your rides that that you could maybe trust to be like an intermediate leader? So like you're the guy that leads the A ride, right? Like this is the guys that, you know, if you're gonna go faster than me, pass on the left, right? Kind of like whatever. But if you're the guy that's maybe, you know, that's either a beginner or an intermediate, you kind of have somebody that you're like, oh, you're going to set this event up. Hey, so-and-so, do you mind being the intermediate leader?
It's a good idea, actually, yeah.
And then that way you've got somebody that's kind of like, hey, dudes, if you want that, there it is. Go with them. We're going to leave about 5-10 minutes behind. You know, we're going to take a little less road because we're all going to meet up again X, right? And you guys are going faster so you can cover more mileage.
Yeah.
Right? And it came to my mind because I've done a lot of mountain bike racing in the past, and obviously with mountain bike racing, you do road training. It sucks, but it is what it is. You got to get more spinning in.
Yep.
And we always would do that. So the A ride would leave early, and they'd go cover more miles. They'd do it faster.
Yeah.
And the B ride would do whatever. And then we would actually have a C ride. And a lot of times the C ride was for beginners. I mean, it would be like myself, right? Like guys that are on the bike a handful of times. They want to be involved, though. You know, they don't want to feel like they're disclassed from the get-go. So that would be a good...
And that's something I want to do in the future, too. I don't want it to be like, you know, because a couple comments out on the video where it's like, I'd love to go to this group ride, but I wouldn't be able to keep up. And I don't want to preclude people from coming because they feel like they wouldn't keep up, because I still want to meet the fans and have fun with them, you know? So I wouldn't want it... So I think I'll have to adjust a little bit, maybe. Yeah. So...
but is it like, that's the thing, is you obviously have a great following. If you could find, I mean, I'd imagine that a handful of these dudes would be more than willing to step up and be...
Yeah, well, I have a buddy that I ride with here in DFW called Mike. He has a BMW S1000R, and I'm sure he'd be like, the thing is, he likes riding the way I do, so maybe he wouldn't want to be the intermediate leader, but, you know, I'm sure we could find someone. I think it'd be cool.
It won't be me.
Maybe soday, Brian.
Yeah. I'll be the beginner guy. Okay, guys, 20 miles an hour. Stay on my side. I don't know whatever kind of cliche I can come with, but I'm sure there'll be a couple of them that we can make fun of. Okay. Now, on your rides, though, there was a wreck, right? Now, talk to me about... Okay, so so it happens. It's the same thing. Like,
we actually had two.
You had two?
We had two.
Okay.
One was the big one, and then the other one was kind of funny, apparently. I wasn't there to see that one either, but I heard it was just kind of goofy and funny.
You weren't there.
Wasn't
do you
there.
Guys have
I wasn't
communication?
We do, but... Again, with the whole group ride being too fast, apparently I took a left, and some people were able to follow me, and then other people were not able to follow me. They went straight instead of taking the left. We met up later eventually because they looked on the Facebook page and saw the routes we were going to take. And they were like, okay, we're going to meet back up here. But, yeah, the crash happened at that fork in the road later.
That's even worse.
Yeah, because we went up north this way, and then they kept going east, and then apparently someone low-sided into a mailbox. Totally fine, though. Bike was fine. Dude was fine. Wasn't wearing any gear, and he was still fine. It's crazy. Oh, my God. Yeah. Well, he was wearing a helmet and gloves, but he didn't have a jacket on. But he was all good. I rode his bike later. It was great. Yeah. So that guy went down. He was totally cool. But the other guy that went down, he did get pretty messed up. Yeah. He was the one that he went a little too far wide on a left-hand turn, went through that tree in the pole. The bike got annihilated, unfortunately. I think the whole rear of it came off. Like, is pretty much total. Pretty sure he broke his ankle too, so not in good shape. Yeah.
But you've talked to us about the video you put together, because that way, if that video were, you know, in the sense that you have your videos out there, obviously to make money, right? They're monetized.
Well, yeah, they're monetized. They're not out there solely to make money.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a better way to put it. You're right, and that's what, because you had fun doing this regardless of that, and it just you started making videos for YouTube, and it took off. So doing that still. But this video specifically that you've put out there is you've said that you're going to give some of those funds to him for health benefits or whatever.
Mm-hmm. So I purposely kind of designed the video to try to be as clickable as possible, because I really wanted to, I felt bad for him, and I really wanted to help him out with some of the expenses, because I know, you know, being out of bike and, you know, have a broken ankle, like, there's going to be expenses. Like, either he's going to have time off work, or he's going to have to pay for surgery on his ankle. Like, some costs are going to happen. Right. So, you know, whether even if he has insurance or not, like, he has to pay deductible on something, like deductible on the bike, like, a bunch of stuff's going to happen, unfortunately. So what I thought of doing, I was like, okay, why don't we take this footage, and why don't we try to make the most, not clickbaity, but clickbaity in a way. It's like, make the most clickable video possible. That way we can get a ton of views and a ton of traffic, and then I can donate all the revenue from the video to him. because I don't want to keep any of that money.
Yeah.
I made the video because of his misfortune, so
Right.
anything that comes out of it can go straight to him.
That's awesome.
And what I was thinking of is if the video kind of increases in views over time, because right now I think it's sitting at like 14,000 views. But if it increases over time, I'm going to put a GoFundMe link in there, and we can really start getting some money in for him and really help
Awesome.
him out.
Well, do you know what any kind of prognosis is at this point? I mean, besides kind of what you've mentioned, like with the broken ankle and
I
stuff?
want to say he posted a comment in the video, but I don't remember reading it. I think I kind of skimmed through it, but I do want to get in touch with him and know what happened. So, on the off chance that you're watching this, I think your name was Kurt. Message me and we'll chat.
Yeah,
So,
that'd be good just to kind of keep up and kind of know the prognosis and what the
Yeah, because I really didn't know what
outcome
happened
looks
to him.
like. Yeah,
I know his foot was messed up because it was just kind of blood just seeping out of his ankle. So
right.
yeah.
All right.
I actually had a question about that. So
God.
I see you kind of cringing and whinging whenever I mention like street crashes. Like, but don't people get kind of messed up on the dirt too, or not as much?
I think it's just as normal.
Okay.
Honestly, like I think I cringe because it's not my normal.
Right.
Right? Like for me, like the reason that I haven't ever ridden on the road is because it's not me. It's not only me, right? I can make every decision that I want to make and somebody could still cause a wreck. That it has nothing to do with myself, right?
Yeah.
And granted, if I were to go race a hare scramble or a cross country race, which is much more, bar to bar style racing, yes, easily some dude could come in and cut me off into a turn and could send me into the woods where I have no control and I clip a tree, and that can happen just as easily there. But I feel like it's one of those things where my dad's had interesting wrecks. I've seen a couple people have severe wrecks. I don't want to make anybody feel too sad. It's just like some stuff has happened and I'm just kind of like, man alive. Like it's just, I would want to, if I were to do it, I think track days sounds awesome, right?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
I just went to one the other month.
I see, and that's the thing is I know nothing about that, right? Like I know it exists where it's a little bit more
Super
closed
fun.
course, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I think. That way, I have nothing against road ride. I just think that like if a wreck were to happen, I would love for it to be as much my fault as other than like having to blame and flip off a car, as it speeds away because it doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Though I think lane splitting would be awesome sometimes when I'm in traffic.
Absolutely. People here don't like it very much, but it's great.
It's legal,
Yeah.
so suck it.
It's legal here?
Uh-huh. It's legal. Lane splitting is legal.
I had no in Texas?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look into that. I don't think it is
Let's
actually.
do this.
Yeah.
Let's just do lane splitting Texas. Yeah, may become legal. The practice of motorcycle lane
may
splitting
become
is
legal.
legal in California, but is a gray area here in Texas. There are two bills in
gray
front of
area. I love
legislature
those.
right now that could make lane splitting legal in Texas as long as traffic is moving slow. So that's 2015, March of 2015.
I like the gray area though. That doesn't mean
right?
that means it's not expressly forbidden. So that's good.
Here's a guy you should probably find. He has a video called Lane Splitting in Texas Idiots. Moto Nosity?
Oh, I know Motonosity. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things, I think I was reading about it because of this in Texas and probably just misconstrued it. But
Yeah.
the fact that it's at least a thing, I was like, you know what? I'm doing it. Fuck it. It looks fun. Like, fuck you guys. Just making it happen.
Yeah.
I live in a state where you don't have to wear a helmet. That's probably Texas.
Yeah. I don't think you have to wear a helmet.
Yeah, you don't
here,
have to.
Which is crazy, but
That blows my mind.
it really does. Yeah.
Like,
how would you not wear a helmet? First of all, like wearing a helmet's more comfortable than not wearing. Like all that wind
All
and
that-
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's just nicer to wear a helmet. Second of all, like it's your head. Like if you can die from like falling too hard on your head, like walking.
yep.
You know what I mean? Like why would you not wear one on a motorcycle?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So here's one of the fucked up stories is my buddy's dad, right, was going, he is whatever motorcycle that he rode a lot, and it was a road motorcycle.
Yeah.
He was going to pick that up from the store, and he was going to have his other one worked on. So him and his son, which is my buddy Derek, he was on the back, but it was the helmet. I'm sorry. Him and his wife we were getting two-way communication put in, but this is like way back, when Derek was probably like 8, 9, 10 years old. So, 20, 25 years ago, where you pretty much had to have somebody put it in. Like, it was like a lot of screws, drilling and shit. And so he was going to pick that up. So he only had the one extra helmet, and he put that on Derek's head. and this is my buddy, and they were taking a left-hand turn, and he's one of the cases where those one-arm swing-arm BMWs, like when they were coming out, broke while taking a left-hand turn and just like slid without a helmet into the curb, and not even at a high pace, and just total vegetable.
Done. Yeah.
Like, and the thing that's unfortunate.
Wait, did he live?
Oh yeah, unfortunately, honestly,
Oh, wow,
like,
yeah.
I mean, I love my friend Derek, but I mean, like, his dad was a vegetable.
That is
Like, it's
unfortunate,
just
yeah.
like, it's horrible. And
Is he still alive today?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's just one of those things where it's just you can't make it any better, you can't make it any worse. It's just shitty, right? In general, and it's kind of tough. And that's not even an incident where anybody did anything. The only thing was that.
But a helmet would have prevented that tragedy.
Absolutely.
100%.
He would have probably gotten up
fine.
and he would have picked the bike up and been like, whoop, let's show him BMW.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, this will be awesome. And I do think that there actually was some recourse. So to say that, like, they didn't have to pay for all of the medical bills for a certain time, but then it is unfortunate too that being a vegetable, they're going to accrue at some point, right?
Yeah.
So it's just tough, and that's
Man.
why, like, yeah, it's the no helmet Texas thing. Like, that's just retarded.
It is.
Like,
It is.
Yeah, we should never not have two-wheeled motorcycles, like, or two-wheeled engine-driven awesomenesses. But yeah, we should have helmets.
Yeah. Crazy.
Not Texas. Oh, Super Jerry's not in Texas. Another
Oh.
state without helmets.
Wow.
What other kind of crazy-ass conservative bitches out there would be nuts for that? Okay, so I'm going to make you nod your head a little bit. So some of the stuff coming up, New Hampshire too. Oh, well, there we go. We got it.
Nice.
Nowhere near as much of a lag with him. That guy is like on it, apparently. I like it. Hey-oh. So coming up this weekend, the GNCC series kicks back off. And the GNCC series is the Grand National Cross Country Racing Series. It is... And it's controversial. We'll use that word again because it's the East Coast National Off-Road Series. You know, on the West Coast, we've got a series called Works, and we've got the National Hare and Hound, and there's like the West Hare Scrambles. There's a lot of those off-road series on the West Coast, but arguably, you know, the more kind of off-road national champion seems to come from the GNCC series. And we've got that series picking back up because we hit the summer and it's just so hot. Nobody wants to ride a dirt bike in the heat. You know, we're not going as fast as you guys are. Even though we've got vintage gear, all that kinds of stuff. It's just ridiculous. So they kind of take a big break and then they come back in September. So we've got that event coming back this weekend.
Nice.
And Unadilla, for any of you guys out there that do pay attention to any of the motocross that's going on and stuff, they did just have the Unadilla motocross race there 3-4 weeks ago, and that series just wrapped up with Ironman 2 weeks ago. And so we just had like the Charlotte MXGP. We've got the Glen Helen GP coming up. So lots of motocross for you guys if you guys are still into that kind of stuff. But I'm looking forward to Unadilla. Unadilla it's interesting with the way this works because the Unadilla motocross track is used, you know, in the GNCC race. So this is one of those events where, you know, you see the pro guys and some of the faster A guys. I'm like airing the shit out of these jumps. And by they're no means as fast on a motocross track as what the motocross guys would be, but it's just cool to see like that they can do it too. I don't. I can jump, but I don't ever go, did you see me air the shit out of that jump? Like that doesn't ever happen.
Yeah.
Like, I jump and I'm like, okay, I hope nobody saw that because they're gonna make fun of me. But coming back from this break, it's interesting because we see Caleb Russell, who is 3 times the XC1 champion. XC1 is the kind of like the pro. There's the XC2, which is like the lights class. And he's the XC1 champion 3 years in a row. So he's going for his 4th title right now. And he's just a handful of points ahead of Josh Strang. Josh Strang is a guy who's been in the series for a long time, actually in the XC1 class longer than Caleb Russell has been. And he had the points lead early on, but then Caleb Russell was recovering from knee surgery. Can always be tough, right? And then Caleb Russell just went on a winning streak, got like 5 or 6 wins in a row. I mean, it's just to think to get like 1 or 2 in a row, right? But this guy got like 5 or 6 in a row. And then we got Jordan Ashburn in 3rd. It's cool to see Jordan Ashburn in 3rd. He's actually a privateer. He's been on kind of more factory teams for a while, but now that he's actually a privateer, I think we're seeing a little bit better results from him. If not, at least just more consistency, which has kind of kept him in the points chase, obviously being in 3rd right now. And some things about Unadilla, I kind of wanted to see. I was like, who's been winning some of these last events? So 2015, it was Strang. 2014, it was Caleb Russell. And 2013, it was Caleb Russell. In 2012, it was Thad Duvall. And so we'll see all 3 of those guys on the line again, you know, coming up for the 2016 Unadilla. So to say, and we're not coming off of a race weekend, right? There's no real consistency, or nobody's got any kind of consistency going right now, so they're going to carry that momentum in, right? I think the closest you could say is Josh Strang has won a full gas sprint enduro. If you haven't seen those on the East Coast, those are amazing style racing. And then Thad Duvall won a national enduro. Again, these are all kind of off-road races, but they're just slightly different disciplines of kind of being off of a closed course and a little bit more of an open trail system and things of that nature. So they're a lot of fun.
You're right. That was a lot of nodding.
Yeah, it hurts, doesn't it? I apologize. But it's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to seeing it, getting the coverage, and getting back into some of the more traditional kind of like that hare scramble style. What's nuts, these guys race for 3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
So, I mean, to think about, they say go,
that's insane.
and they're like, it's not like, for a while, I think in the 90s, I wasn't watching the GNCCs as much, living in Louisiana, because we didn't get that much covered down there for whatever reason. Like, they would kind of like trail ride 85, 90% for like 2 hours and then like turn it on in the last hour, and like that was the race. But not anymore. Like, Juha Solomon came over in like 2005 or 2006. 2005. Yes, 2005. And that was it. Like, he was like, oh no, I can race for 3 hours.
And everyone's like, I guess we're racing for 3 hours
and
now.
he won the championship 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
And David Knight, another European, came over and won it in 07 and 08. And that was it. Like, all of a sudden, it's a 3 hour race now. It is intense and crazy. One of the things that's going to be interesting is we're going to see Johnny Aubert come over. So he's a French racer. And what's Rossi, Italian?
Rossi's Italian. Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
I don't think there's any prominent. I know there probably are prominent French racers in MotoGP, but I can't think of any off the top of my head. Mostly Italian and Spanish.
Italian and Spanish.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? Like, are they just growing crazy
I
there?
think so, maybe. I know Brazilians are that way too. Yeah, it's
like
all that pasta,
crazy.
all that carbohydrate.
All that was high glycemic index from all the carbohydrates turning into sugar.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother thing.
That's for another time.
We could get into diet, but we don't need to. I don't need to tell you how to live your life. But it's going to be cool to see Johnny Aubert over here, because he is... So the way we race enduro in the States is different from the way that you race enduro around the world. Around the world, it's a little bit more... They have less land, right? And so they have to utilize what they can race on, a little bit better. So to do that, they do very short, fast, special tests, what they call them. And then they have to transition to the next area. So sometimes it's like, well, we get to ride on this farmer's land, and then we're going to transition, the transfer section to this farmer's land. So they put these little special tests together, right? Where over here, we have a chance with national parks and things of that nature. Sometimes it's private use, sometimes it's public use land, that we can have much longer sections. And so it's interesting. But him coming over here and racing the GNCC series, he's going to do Unadilla and Ironman, is interesting, because... Again, I know we're going off into what you have no idea about, Land, but so do you know about Beta motorcycles? I don't think they make any kind of on-road stuff.
I have heard of them, actually. I have heard of it, but very...
I believe they're Spanish. Should know that. Can't remember.
I don't know.
But he's been riding for KTM for the longest time, and recently he signed and has been racing for Beta. Still doing really well, having fun on his motorcycle, as he should, right? Mm-hmm. Well, he's come over to race these two GNCCs, and I believe that is to try to have a little bit more of a presence in the States for Beta motorcycles here in the United States. They don't really have a premier XC1 guide, so I'm assuming he's going to be in the XC1 class. But it's interesting because I don't think he's done any kind of race like that, right? We're talking about the 3 hours and stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's one of those deals where if he just goes out there and gets top 10, good on you, right? Because, it's such a learning experience. I would think. I couldn't be
Maybe.
I race hour and a half sprint races, blah, 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 and then go out for 3 hours.
Some of these guys, they're just so naturally talented at this stuff. You never know. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing. That's where it's tough because, who knows? I mean, is if he gets out front, and again, I'm not the guy that's going to get the whole shot and win a race, so I don't know these things. But all the guys that come on the show, they're always talking about, if you can get out front, you can lead the race, you can set the pace and do all those kinds of stuff. So if he can do that in these longer 3-hour races, he could have a shot, sure. I mean, yes, he's an extremely talented racer. Yeah. But it'd be interesting. So I'm looking forward to seeing him in the States and kind of to see how he does it at the event. Mm-hmm. It'd be interesting.
Yeah, it's cool.
It'd be fun. Which is a helmet and gloves OFC better doing? All right, let's see. I don't
going
know.
on in the comments
Trying to
section?
find hi, you need a helmet for a year after you get your license. After you don't need one. What? That's even almost more dumb than not having a helmet law.
Yeah.
You have to have it for a year because you're a beginner. And then
Yeah.
after you've had your license for a year, you can not ride with a helmet.
It's kind of stupid. I think just like,
Wear a fucking helmet.
yeah.
Like it's not that hard.
Yeah. Just put it on.
Yeah. Like I mean, holy shit. I flipped over the back of my motorcycle at 16 years old, going up a hill, rolled down, smacked my head with a helmet on a rock, like just perfect aim, and just sent myself dizzy. And we can't prove that this was what caused all my seizures, but it was like way too like normal with timing
Right.
for it to not really be. And I wound up having seizures for 15 years.
Wow.
You know, I mean that was with a helmet, rock to the head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sure, rolling downhill, but
Imagine
it's
if
a
you
hard
cracked
hit,
your helmet or cracked your head without the helmet. on
Right,
that ride.
dead.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm sure, like easily, like or brain damage, like which
Yeah.
sometimes it's worse on people that way because
Yeah.
then
Then you're a
you
burden.
don't really ever get to heal. So I do like turtles, Halley Moto. I
Nice.
wear gear.
I had a pet turtle once.
You know, I think I did too,
Yeah. I did kill mine though,
by accident or on purpose.
by accident.
You said it kind of like I killed mine.
Kind of pleased about it.
It might have been a good time. Could
Yeah.
you tell what is that a car or a bike?
That was a bike.
What
I'm
was
pretty
it?
sure it was either a Ducati or an R1.
How do you know that?
It's got like a throaty sort of like sound. It definitely sounded like a cross plane. Yeah. You can just kind of feel these things, Brian. You just feel it. You know?
It's like, I can relate because when you watch some older motocross videos, and it's because of the fact that I grew up on two strokes, right? Like, but when you watch older motocross videos and it's just a pack of two strokes, like it is the most boner making shit ever. Like you just, oh my God, that's the one. I mean, that is probably the biggest thing that I miss about two strokes being like the prominent thing.
Yeah.
Like I get it.
They do
you know.
sound pretty awesome.
It is just like, oh my God. But then with the four strokes, you get the raped ape sound. Like, I mean, it is just like so throaty and just
Yeah.
nasty and dirty and all kinds of like, yes, I want more of you.
Yeah.
Like, it's tough.
It's cool.
It's tough. But the 125s, when those guys would go, it's just like a pack of bees coming
Yeah.
at you because it's they're all freaking out and trying to have fun. All right. You need the R2000 helmet from Scorpion.
I do?
I don't know. Tell Yammie he needs that.
Probably do. I didn't tell you about the helmet I bought and that didn't fit, right? Oh, that was so stupid. So I went and got fitted for this helmet. It's an Arai Signet Q. It's a really nice street helmet. I went to the shop, got fitted for it. They measured my head, all that. Guy put it on me. He's like, looks great on you. I was like, it seems to fit pretty well. I didn't have any complaints about it. I went out and rode with it, and about 35 minutes in, just like this awful pressure point right here. And I was like, no. Never could get rid of it. Never could quite figure out why the helmet didn't fit correctly. And now I'm stuck with a $600 helmet that didn't fit right. So,
Anybody want some Yammie Noob sweat and a $600 helmet?
Brian, I've tried selling that helmet so hard. It will not sell. No one wants it. And that's okay. It happens. But, yeah.
Why
that was the
doesn't it
story of
sell?
the helmet. Yeah, no one wants a used helmet. They don't know what happened to it, you know?
Can't you like take out the?
You seem very skeptical.
Well, like yeah, I mean, granted, I'm not gonna buy a used helmet. More
Exactly.
so because I think of what the crash is, right? Like
that's
versus,
why
okay.
it's not for the grossness of it. It's more for the fact of it's like, what if it was dropped and that's why you're selling it? You know what I mean?
That's true. Because even like, if you were to drop it and like hear something, you're like, "Whoop, selling it." Like,
Yeah.
Just because you're like, I don't even know. Yeah.
Exactly. So, yeah.
That
But
sucks. You got fitted though. I mean, like,
Yeah, I know I got fitted for it. It's just a weird shape.
isn't that one of those things
I've
you can
tried,
go back and be like, dude, guys, you fitted me for this and I can't wear it. Can you like give me a discount on something else?
That was the thing. Like that was the second helmet that I went there and fitted for.
So where did you go that we should not send anybody?
I don't want to say the shop's name.
Okay.
I don't feel like putting them on blast, but yeah, it just kind of sucked. That happens, you know. I mean, it really shouldn't. That doesn't make any sense, but it
Yeah.
happens to me, I guess.
It happens twice. Well, I don't know.
I don't really think so, but-
I don't know.
Yeah.
trust with 350 for. Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about 350 dirt bikes for a second. They used to talk about helmets on the road bikes. Weirdos.
Yeah, you're like, I don't care about that.
Well, what's coming up next? So, again, let's just say if you guys could do any kind of support for us, obviously, we'd be talking about the Seat Time Team USA shirt. We've got that for sale up until Tuesday. That's the big thing for us is we don't sell enough T-shirts to like keep stuff in stock. So we do kind of 1 week and 2 week long sales. And then we go print what's sold, right? And then ship them out, and that's it. And that's why if you go to the site and you look at shop, there's a bunch of shirts, and those come back at the end of the year, right? So then everybody that's on, we have little waiting lists, and everybody that's on those waiting lists, then they get an email that if they want to go buy it, they can buy it again, and we'll reprint them and send them out, blah, blah, blah. So if you guys could help us get the word out, that'd be awesome. And then, of course, I guess just keep kicking ass and having fun, right? I mean,
Yeah.
what else is coming up for you?
Well, our collaboration video.
This is gonna be fun.
For sure.
It'll be
That's gonna
fun.
be good. Yeah. So, have you told anyone about that or no?
The riding one?
Yeah, the 9 types of dirt bike.
Oh,
rider
no.
ones. Yeah.
No, go
Yeah.
for it.
So Brian and I are collaborating on a 9 types of dirt bike rider. Or what are we gonna call off-road rider? What? Since you are I'll delegate that to you. What should it be called?
That's interesting. Yeah, I think
Because there's different types, right?
Yeah, because I mean, because that's the thing is, I guess we should do dirt bike because of the fact that off road is a tad bit more generic.
Yeah.
In the sense that like off road could mean
Dual sport?
jeeping. It could be it could be
Yeah.
adventure. Like it can kind of be a
Yeah,
little.
so I
bit
think
more.
we should call it like the 9 types of dirt bike riders.
Yeah.
I think that would work.
Okay.
So we're working on that collaboration. Typical list videos you've seen from me that you know and love, and that's what it's going to be. It's going to be awesome. Having to tap into you for that knowledge because I don't know shit about dirt bike riders, but I do want to make that video because I think a lot of people would like it. So.
And then we're gonna
super
get
excited.
you on a dirt bike.
Yeah.
So look for that. I think we're going to film that in October. So we're going to do that in October. And we haven't really talked about it, but I think we're both going to try to, we'll produce the video because Steven and I love filming and getting out there and making all these videos and have a lot of fun doing that because I don't know if it's not going to be an instructional video, but it's going to be the humor that you've come
Trial
to
by
enjoy
fire. Yeah.
from all of us for sure. But so we'll be out there and just have a good little fun video. Get a dirt bike out there for Eric and just show him the ropes.
You know what we should
guess.
do? We should get jazzed up on Admiral Nelson's beforehand and then go crazy.
Can we get jazzed up afterwards? Just so I'm totally down to get my buddy Brady Davis to ship us some Admiral Nelson's. It's like a celebratory nobody died thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we need to get jazzed beforehand.
Makes it even better. No, but I think you guys producing video will be cool. I think I want to do like a moto vlog on the helmet too with me on it sort of like a first person.
Oh, yeah, that'd be
experience of
cool.
it. That's gonna be awesome. I could do it in the sort of similar one take style, or I could just do a cut up version. I think it'd be really
Well,
sick.
don't ride my bike because I don't want to hear what you have to say about it.
I don't know. I don't know what to expect yet, so I don't know yet.
Well, I think it would be.
I'll
even
probably
more-
be oh my god, it's fucking crazy.
I think
That's what I'm imagining it
it'd
to be like.
Interesting too, because I've got a 2015 KTM 350 XC. For those of you guys, anybody Seat Time fans or anybody Yammie Noob fans, just if you know it, you know it. If you don't, look it up. Nothing too crazy done to it, right? I don't ever need to do that to my bikes. I race in the A class. I'm a top 5 kind of guy when I do race. I have fun doing it, and I'm okay with that placement, right? I don't feel like I need to tinker too much. I know it's the rider way more than it is the bike, right?
Yeah.
I could be better if I wanted to be. So if you rode that 350, I think you get a good feel for that kind of bike. But I think a 2-stroke as well, and that's the thing that's tough. It's
That could be really
try
cool.
to figure out a way to really get a plethora of bikes for that. Because if we can get a 2-stroke as well, and you could ride the 2-stroke and I'll ride my bike, and I can follow, and we could do some other GoPro footage that way while we're on the bikes, and then swaps. Then you get a chance to ride both styles of bikes, that 2-stroke versus the 4-stroke, and then you can see what I was talking about, how it how those engines really do react differently.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
So I like this.
If you can source a 2-stroke and the other one. Well, the other one's your bike, so you can source that one.
Yeah,
But the
easily.
2-stroke, yeah.
Might be able to make it happen. Well, cool. Well, as always, I really appreciate you taking the time to come on the show
Yeah,
so we
dude.
can talk about all this stuff. It
always
sucks that
awesome.
everybody backed out in the long run because, even we were texting people and this, that, the other. And they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll make it," and then everybody's like, "Shit, well, you know what?
It happens, man.
We held it down and we did
Yeah.
just fine doing it." And I love that kind
Yammie
of stuff.
Noob is always here for you.
I like it.
Remember
The
that.
stamp of approval. But you got to remember, we, of course, are Seat Time, and we just want to say thank you to our sponsors for letting us do this kinds of fun stuff and helping us get this content out there to you guys. You can find out more about Fly Racing at flyracing.com. Again, go check out their 2017 gear lineup. I would suggest checking out your local dealer, but you do what you need to do to get it to you. And then, of course, Kenda Tire. You can find those guys at kendatire.com. The Ibex just got released. And, of course, the Equilibrium is a great tire. We rode it in Colorado last year. Had a lot of fun on that tire. So you can check it out at kendatire.com. And SRT Off-Road. I did put a new shark fin from SRT Off-Road on the motorcycle. I've got all kinds of bash guards and stuff. I've got the radiator braces. I held my shit together at the TKO where I totally fell apart. The bike did not fall apart. It was the rider that fell apart. So thank you, SRT Off-Road, for the great products and, of course, the support of Seat Time. You can find us, our website, seattime.co. We're obviously on Facebook, facebook.com/seattime. On Instagram, it's just Seat Time. On Twitter, it's at seattime_CO. We're just all over the stupid place. You can follow us or find us anywhere. Make fun of me. It's whatever. And then, of course, audio only. So if you just want to get the podcast version, you can go search for Seat Time on iTunes or Stitcher and get all of that fun information out there for you guys. Just wanted to say thanks again for paying attention. And as we do, remember to always enjoy a pint full of awesome. Peace. All right. Sweet. What kind of setup? Do you have a laptop or anything with you to talk about all this stuff?
No, I did not bring that, unfortunately.
Do you just have like a pen and paper? Oh my god, so antiquated.
I know. I'm old school.
Yes.
There's some laying around here.
I've got ass sweat like a motherfucker.
Yeah, it's kind of warm in here tonight. Yo.